Hello there and welcome to this little video today. Today I've come to a little commercial fishery not far from where I live and a few miles down the road, and I've come to fish the margins today. I've been feeding the margins. I've been here about half an hour now and I've got the fish really grubbing around in the margins. So I'm going to show you my setup in a minute. It's very simple. I'm going to do a bit of action cam footage today, a bit of body cam, see if we can get some good footage on that and see what we can catch. The fish are really grubbing around down there. So without further ado, I'm going to show you my setup and put the bait on and see what we can catch. Well folks, here's my setup and it's very simple. You can't get any more simple. It's basically just basically a waggler rig. It's set up in a similar way to what you set up a pellet waggler. Basically the actual waggler, it's a loaded waggler. I like to use a loaded waggler these days. I've sort of taken to them. I think they're a lot easier to use and much more simple. Basically that's fixed onto the line with, you see there, some float stops, one above, two below. I've got a number 6 super stops just below the float. In between those rubber float stops is a snap swivel. I think that's a Preston one. There's the float, it's a midi bagging waggler. And then I've got a single number 8 stot on the hook length. You might see that there, single number 8 stot on the hook length. And the hook length is a 4 pound. I'm basically just fishing the hook length. The float is just about 1 inch, 2 inches above the hook length. Now, it's very shallow in the margin. It's like literally, the depth is like literally just that. That is all I'm fishing, basically. I've got a size 14 Guru XS hook, barbless, which the barbless rolled here, obviously. And I'm going to be baiting that with soft pellet. I've got some expanders, I think they're Sonubaits ones. I've also got some Fjuka baits as well, some Fjuka fat boys, and I've got some Fjuka wafters as well, so I'm going to give those a try. So without further ado, I'm going to get back into my swim and give this lovely little setup a go. Right then, let's start fishing. Basically those are the pellets I'm using. Soft hooker pellets, hookable expander pellets by Sonubaits. They're salted caramel flavour, they're nice and sweet, and I've had a few fish on those before, so I'm going to start off by using those. I'm just going to plop this. The depth, I plumb the depth right now, so I was fishing a little bit over depth before, so hopefully it won't take too long and we'll be into a fish. It's important to keep the loose feed going in as well. Keep the fish there. We've got them there, so we want to be keeping them there. It's a lovely day today, but it's a bit chilly, bit of a chilly wind. We had a lovely long week of sunshine. The fishery bailiff tells me that the fish spawned last week, so they're all done spawning now, and hopefully they're feeling hungry. Fingers crossed we can have a good day's fishing today. I don't think it's going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, but with a bit of luck, if we ring the changes and keep changing the hook baits, keep plugging away, hopefully we'll get a few. And there's one. Got one straight away. Fish on straight away, and that's fantastic. The hook buried, float buried, sorry, in straight away to what is a very angry carp. Well, that's a good start. Hopefully we can get him in, because it'd be nice to catch a few fish today. Looks like a nice little fish, this one. Looks like a mirror, I think. Certainly an angry fish. Putting up a good fight anyway. See if we can get him up to the surface and get the net under him. Okay, see if we can get him to get that first gulp of air. That's always important, isn't it? Oh, it's nice and common. Thought it was a mirror. Here he is up on the surface. And he's in the net. Fantastic. Right. What I always like to do now is while I'm looking at the fish, we don't want the fish to in the swim to all disperse, and so I like to just put a decent bit of bait in, and then we'll go and put this fish up on the unlooking mat. Nice carp there, look. Nice little common. Let's go and unlock him on the unlooking mat and have a look at him. He's up nicely. That's good. That's good. Pop that hook out there. I can get to it. Nicely in the top lip, which you expect from the margins. But looks out. Let's have a look at him. Lovely little carp there. Look. Not the biggest carp in the world, but he'll do. Lovely. Without get this fish back quickly, and let's try and catch another one. Get another soft hook on, and let's have another go. Tangle around the rod tip. There we go. Swing it in with a little plop. Draw those feed round as well. If it hurts to keep the fish milling around. Check the clutch. I've used the clutch, I always like to check it. Sometimes when I'm landing the fish, I like to pull it, tighten it up a little bit. But hopefully we can catch another one now. Didn't take long to catch our first one, did it? Spooked off the line then. Not always instant action, sometimes you have to be a little bit patient. You think that there's that many fish down there really competing for the food, but they are quite clever fish sometimes. They'll avoid the spot where your line is coming through the water, where your hook bait is, where your float is. They'll actively avoid it. And if that's the case, then obviously something's wrong. So you need to try and figure out what's wrong, take the problem away, and you should start catching fish. Because if it's not spot on, you'll struggle at times. And if it's spot on, you've got your setup just right, you're feeding just right to keeping the fish there competing. Feeding little, not too much. Because if there's too much feed there, then they'll just pick at it all day, and less chance of them taking your hook bait the more loose feed they said. But keep them feeding. And if you take the problems away, if there's any reason why you think they're avoiding an area where you're putting the float, just you'll find that eventually you can put those problems away. It just could be your over depth slightly, could be your hook choice. Sometimes I find if you're using a shiny silver hook like the Camasan hooks, they'll shy off them. That's why I've gone to these Guru hooks. They're PTFE coated, so they're a lot harder for the fish to spot, and simple things like that can make all the difference. A really nice common down there now. Two of them actually. Two really nice commons, but they're just this side of my float. I hope they turn towards where my hook base is, because I'd love to catch one of those. And they spooked off my line. Always away. I'm sure they'll return. Bloody sheep. Oh, sheep's coming to me, Peg. Only once. They're having nothing off me. No food for you, mate. I'm sorry, no food. absolutely surrounded by sheep. Look at them all. Thought I was going to have to get the mint sauce out then. Apologies to all you vegans out there. Let's try a different hook bait. Let's try a different hook bait. Something that might make a difference. I'm going to try a Fjuka wafter. Just because I'm going to use a bright coloured one, just a bit more visible because the water's quite coloured. I think I'll use a nice orange one. A nice orange Fjuka wafter. Give that a go. Well, I've got another one. And this is an anglerfish. Taking me right down that margin. Angry fella. Actually didn't see the bite. I was messing in my bag and the clutch started screaming on my reel. It's on a Fjuka wafter. It's a good strong fish. Got to keep the rod really low. Because we got down. This is a good fish, this is. I just don't want it to take me under those trees, so I've got to try and it's taking me under the trees. It's just this side of the tree. So I can get him out of there. A good fish, this one, I think. Just stand up to bully him out. I don't think he's actually that big, I just think he's an angry one. Actually, I do think this is a good fish, you know. Certainly got some power in it. Fjuka wafter certainly worked. Oh yeah, it's a nice mirror. This is a nice fish. Not that big, his head looks bigger than his tail actually. I wasn't actually ready for that fish. I was messing in my bag. Be glad if he doesn't come off. Glad to get him in this one. Not a bad fish. It's bigger than the last one anyway, I think. on the Fjuka wafter. Keep him out of the swim. And then he's spooking all those carp that are still feeding down there. He's up now. I've got to be on that in there. There we go. Oh, that was a good old scrap. Lovely. Look at that. Lovely. Lovely mirror carp. So, I'm not going to take every fish to the unlucky mat because it's not really fair to keep lugging them around on the bank. I'll just hook all of them in the net and put them straight back. But lovely mirror carp. See where he's hooked and get him back. Try another Fjuka wafter. I'm going to try it in a natural colour this time, which is more a similar sort of colour to the feed pellet I'm feeding. So less of a standout bait, just to experiment a little bit really. Giving the swimmer a 10-minute break. Just have some bite something to eat. There's been some nice fish moving in. I've been stood up on the top of the bank while I was on the phone watching the swim, and there's been some big fish moving in, some bigger ones, some of the bigger carp in the lake have been moving in. Hopefully we can catch one of those. Some nice large commons, getting on towards double figures I would have thought. And there's a fish. There we go. That really steamed off. So I meant about these. Sometimes when you're fishing in these margins, some of the bites you get, they'll just storm off because they're pretty much hooked themselves a lot of the time. A lot of the time they'll hook themselves. When they feel the float, they'll just hook themselves a lot of the time with these fish. That's hectic. Just shut down one margin, then shut down the other. Nice comment. He's tied himself out with those plunging ones he made. There we go. Gotcha. Lovely. Does it good sometimes to give the swimmer a rest for a little bit. Nice a comment. There we go. I think I'll have a look at this one on the mat. Bit of a lively fella, this one. It's a lovely common. Calm down, buddy. There you go, lovely common carp, lovely little fish. And I'm enjoying today's session. That's the third fish I've had now and I'm really enjoying it. And it's nice to catch a few fish after last week's disaster. But yeah, let's get him back and try and catch some more. Brilliant. Let's go with another natural Fjuka wafter. Did the business last time, it wasn't in 5 minutes, we wasn't in 2 minutes last time with the last caster with a natural Fjuka wafter. And hopefully we'll have the same sort of success again this time. Fish are really gobbing around down there now. Really having it. Well, I haven't actually yet told you where I am, so if any of you are wondering, a few locals may have already recognised the venue, but I'm actually at Hunnington fishery, which is in the village of Romsley, which is not far from, it's just on the outskirts of Halesowin, in the West Midlands, not far from Birmingham actually, and it's a lovely little fishery. I'm on the top pool. I don't actually know the name of the pool, but this is my favourite pool of the venue. There's 4 pools here. The main match lake with the island being the most popular one. But I always like to come up onto this pool. It's the furthest one to walk to, but you very often get it to yourself. I love this pool. I really do. There's some good fish in here. There's actually a nice common right this side of my float. It's back sticking out of the water there, you'll probably see. And I'm a bit hesitant to move my line because I'm going to spook him. He's actually, I think, gone right over my line. I don't know if my line's, yeah, he's right over my line. So I hope I don't get a fish now because I'm moving my line out of the way now. And maybe just pull the float a little bit closer to him. Hopefully he'll take my waft as he just fell right in front of him. No, I'm not going to take his shade away from me. Probably saw my float actually. I got one, yay! That was a more delicate, but I think this is a foul looker. Yeah, it's a foul looker. That's why. It's really racing off over the other side of the lake. It's a foul looker, and it's come off. Thankfully, oh, it hasn't. What did it come off then? Definitely a foul looker. It's not a very big fish, I hope. Definitely a foul. You can always tell a foul looker here. Rod top thumps and dumps and dumps, and they're a nightmare to get in. You just hoping that they come off really when they're foul looked. He's in the net. Well, it doesn't count foul looked. In a match, you'd put it in your keep net, wouldn't you? But I don't count foul looked fish. It's a shame as well because this is a nice fish, but it doesn't count, I'm afraid. And the hooks come out in the net, so it's a bit of a bonus. There is the foul looked culprit. So let's get him back. So I've had 4 fish in the net, but I've only caught 3 of them. That's why I look at it anyway. Let's try and catch one properly now. Well, there's a change in species for you. Little gudgeon. Oh. Lovely little fish, the gudgeon. Isn't it a beautiful little fish, really? I mean, it's a shame, really, they don't grow to specimen size, like big sizes, because they're lovely little fish. But it's a change anyway from the carp, isn't it? I've been here about 3.5 hours now, and I've had 3 fish, which really I do think I should have had more. I don't think I've really caught as many as what I should have caught. I mean, last time I fished this peg, I fished it for 2 hours after I'd moved from a different lake to this peg. Fished it for 2 hours and had about 10 fish in 2 hours. So, but that was a nice hot sunny day, so that's a different kettle of fish really, isn't it, when it's nice and warm and sunny. These fish haven't long finished spawning, but there's a carp. There's a carp. Finicky bites now, but they're not belting off with it. They're not belting off with it, they're sort of really finicking taking it. They're taking it ever so gently, and I just don't know if this is a foul looker as well. The way it's bouncing around, I don't think it's a foul looker. Could be. No, it's not foul looker, it's a good fair and square. This one, so this is my 4th fish of the session. It's not a foul looker, it's a fair and square fish. It's a decent fish as well by the feel of it. I'm taking it right into the centre. Right in the centre, I was losing grip on my rod then. Right in the centre of the lake. That's better, isn't it? A good bend in the rod. I think I managed to get this one in. I'll have a look at this one on the mat, I think. Looks like a nice fish, I think. So let's try it. Net in. Oh, no, I knew that was going to happen. So I went to try and net him, I knew that was going to happen. Hopefully next time. Gotcha. Well, that's made my day. Fantastic. So look at this one on the mat. There we go, common carp. Another lovely fish, and well, I'm pleased with that one. Lovely. Let's get him back. See what we're going to do now. See if there's any more fish coming down the margins, and then, or if not, we'll try a couple of rod lengths out. But I'm going to persevere with the margins for now and see how we get on. Well, folks, I thought I might just have a little bit of a look and show you the baits I've been using today. Basically, standard fishery feed pellets. So I've just been feeding those. Those are standard fishery feed pellets. I think they're about 4 mil, those ones, maybe a bit smaller. But sometimes fishery feed pellets, you know, the coppins and the scratchings pellets that you get commonly at fisheries, they're all the same, and I think the fish see those a lot. So I like to add a little bit of a boost in attraction to them by using this liquid. This is absolute liquid flavour from Sonubaits. That's the krill and squid one. I like that one. It smells nice. It's you only need a dribble on half a pint of feed pellets, and it goes a long way. The other hook baits I've been using are these. These are also from Sonubaits. They are Sonubaits Pro hookable expander pellets. They're salty caramel flavour. They're good pellets. I've done well with those at a few places I've been to now, so they're really nice baits. They are 6mm pellet. And another one I recommend is these, the Fjuka hookable wafters. Now they're fantastic. I really like these. They sink really slowly. Yeah, these are great. They come in all different colours, as you can see. You got the natural ones, you got the yellows, the pinks, the whites, and they're great. They are. Orange ones in there too. Fjuka baits are fantastic. I like the full range of Fjuka. I've used quite a bit of their bait now, and I've always caught and done well with it. So yeah, it's been a difficult day so far, but we'll keep going, keep persevering, using these baits. I've got in a sweet corn as well, so I might open that up in a minute and try corns, so give that a go, and hopefully we catch a few more fish. So let's go and try and catch some more. Well, I've got another one. I didn't get this one, the actual fight, on camera, but it's the biggest one of the session. And I'm going to end on this one, I think, for the filming today anyway. But might have me another couple of half an hour fishing after I finish filming. But I've gone on to sweet corn now, and I've finally got this lovely carp. It's the biggest one of the day, as I said. It's a nice common. There we go, biggest fish of the session. And I'm really pleased with this one. Put up a good fight, but well, I'm going to end on that one. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I could have done better. There's a few things I've learned today. A few things I think I could have done differently. But I've caught a few fish and well happy with the session. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll be so grateful if you can. And thank you for watching the video and tight lines. And thank you very much again for joining me today.